I thought Prithvi played very well, actually. He didn't rush his innings this time. He started in quite an orthodox manner, but he was still able to find the gaps. So he looks in very good touch early on. And this innings really was an example of that. So I'm quite happy to see him score at pace and score in the areas which he did.
A few striking points with his batting. One is that he was hitting balls on the up. Now, this is a guy who can't help but play shots, So these were good balls, swinging deliveries. And what was really nice to see that he was driving with the swing, on the offside. So he was covering the swing and driving risk-free. Balls coming back in. Those also, after the swing was completed, he was playing shots, which means he plays the ball a bit late. I like the fact that he also tends to pick up gaps in the outfield, in the circle as well. The only thing I'd like to see him do less is not hit the ball as much in the air.
When you've given up, 160 or you've given up 200 and then you've given up 175 or something like that. So that, even though we've talked about a number of players will still be rusty and maybe need more time, that is starting to have an impact.
There's one bowler that's going for 10 runs and over virtually every game. And also in return, not too many wickets are coming. Plus, this is not a turner. Now, 5 bowlers with Jadeja would have worked well in Chennai, but here the ball isn't turning as much. So it's a risky affair. For me, the IPL is about how Dhoni reacts to all this, because it's very obvious to see what CSK needs to improve. But whether he'll still go with the 6 bowler, one will have to wait to see, because there's one thing about Dhoni, he doesn't like to change the mold.
Very good bowler because of the pace at which he bowls, because of the length at which he bowls. And yes, he may have been hampered by the absence of, say, a good left-hand batsman to put some pressure on him in the way that Jadeja was by Shikhar Dhawan initially. But he did an excellent job earlier for that team.
Axar Patel had a nice kind of a dream game where he was only bowling to right-handers as opposed to Jadeja, who had to contend with Pant and Rishabh and Shikhar Dhawan. But having said that, he's bowled well. He's somebody who flies under the radar. You read me out some of his numbers last year. He did well. And to bowl 2 overs out of the 4 in the power play was incredible.
Rabada is becoming the king of pressure, isn't he? Such a lovely young man who is able to bowl for you at every phase. And it's not only this game, but we saw that throughout last season. We saw it in the Super over here as well. Henrik Nokia is someone that I've been watching since the England Test series. I love the pace. And then he showed us again now the control that he can give you with that pace. That bowling attack is starting to look very potent.
Now we are watching that half of the IPL in UAE where the seamers are having a say, especially the quick bowlers. And as the pitches start to get slow and get tired, people like Nokia may not have as much of an impact. And I love the way they used him, while people like, Dhoni and Kedar Jadhav were due to come. He finished off spinners. And when these guys came in, he had only quality fast bowling to dish out. So both Kedar Jadhav and Dhoni found it tough.
Yeah, they're not starting off with the pace in chasing these totals. They're a little bit slow. They're leaving a lot to do at the back end. They're not getting their batting order right. I'm worried about Murali Vijay and whether he'll be able to turn up the tempo. That's number one. But I also would like to see the batting order better and maybe a better tempo in the first half of the innings setting up to the back end.
Early days for CSK, IPL, everyone, Murali Vijay coming into T20 cricket after a long time. So you get the feeling he's not yet got into the groove. I'm loving the way Faf du Plessis is playing. So that's a plus. Shane Watson looked good in the last game, not so much this time around. Ambati Rayudu comes in, the chase would start looking better. Concern is Raj Gaikwad back at number 4. I don't think that's a number that for a young kid in big run chases in a high-stake IPL tournament. Make his life easier, maybe get him to open with Watson, and everybody else sort of goes down a number if you want to play Gaikwad. The problem is going to be as they go down the order, because they don't have a Hardik Pandya or a Pollard or an Andre Russell to achieve the required run rate when they lag behind like they did today. When they had 14 runs to get an over, they had a Kedar Jadhav who got 9 out of 12. A Pollard and a Russell wouldn't do that.